Hello there. Change of scenery today. I just want to talk. I don't really want to share my screen. Today is a bit of a story time of how I went from AI, not AI hater, but AI skeptic, to using AI on every single aspect of my life. Like many of you, I am very online. I use Twitter a lot. And on Twitter, there were many fads before, like cryptocurrencies, NFTs, Web3, the metaverse. All of them were, in theory, the next web revolution, but they all died. So when people started talking about AI every single day, I was like, here we go again, another fad that we're going to completely forget about in the coming months. I was using AI, but very lightly. I was using ChatGPT like everyone else. I would talk to it, ask questions, but that's it. Use it for learning purposes. That was my main use case for AI. And yes, I did use GitHub Copilot inside VS Code, but only the chat tab to ask questions. I never used it to generate code. Then on my timeline, many people started saying, hey, Cursor is the real deal. AI is not just hype, it is for real. And then I was like, okay, how do I use this new AI that everyone is talking about? They said, you need to download Cursor, go to the Composer tab, enable agent mode, and then let AI code for you. So because I was using GitHub Copilot, and I don't know why, but I have free access to GitHub Copilot Pro. So because I had the access to that, Cursor was using Claude under the hood as the model. Copilot was using Claude as well. So I made the dumb decision to not download Cursor, but instead try the edit mode inside Copilot. Because in my mind, if both of them use the same model, then it is impossible to have different results, right? Wrong. But that's what I did. And GitHub Copilot to this day is unusable. It is horrible. If the only time you gave the chance to properly try AI was with GitHub Copilot, you haven't tried it. Okay, listen to me. Just try Cursor or Windsor. So I made that mistake. The results were horrible. The code was either horrible, unreadable, unmaintainable, or Copilot would randomly edit files that I didn't ask it to edit. I got mad and I gave up. I was like, those people are lying. They cannot be telling the truth. I kept using just the chat tab inside GitHub Copilot. And then people kept insisting on Twitter, dude, you need to try Cursor, you need to try Windsurf. And I asked someday, man, if they're both using the same model, why do you keep recommending Cursor? Why is it so different? And they said the same thing that I'm saying now, dude, just try it. Just try it. I cannot explain. I found out the hard way that there are many more things under the hood besides the model. It's not only about the model. Don't let Claude fool you, even though they're all using Claude, Sonnet under the hood. Don't let that fool you. Give Cursor and Windsurf a chance. So I spent 1 month with Cursor, and that was enough for me to completely change my opinion about AI. Because on agent mode on Cursor, I asked it to do the same thing to change my files, and the result was astonishing. Not only the code quality was good enough for my standards, but he correctly edited the correct files. And in the end, he did implement what I asked him to implement. So I was like, whoa, hold up. This is really good. And initially, I used it to generate only TypeScript and React code. But after time, I started using it to generate Elixir code, which is my preferred backend language. And let me tell you, The results are different. For React and TypeScript, I can safely close my eyes, generate code, and be done with it. I fully trust Claude to generate TypeScript code. It is insanely good. For Elixir, it's mostly good. You need to hold Claude's hand a little bit and explain to him whenever he gets something wrong. But after you hold his hand and explain him when he's wrong, then he becomes a super duper amazing senior AI copilot to your daily coding tasks. It was pretty much Cursor that made me change my opinion about AI. And I highly recommend you to try it as well. Now I'm sticking to Windsurf, not Cursor, but Cursor was my entry point to this new era for generating code, and I recommend you to do the same. Now, if you are a hardcore developer and you don't like the idea of AI generating code for you, I have a recommendation. I am sure there are a couple of aspects about your job that you don't like. If you are a hardcore backend programmer, you probably hate the front end and vice versa. Then once you finished your job on the backend and you start hating yourself for doing the front end, instead ask Claude inside Cursor or Windsurf to generate the front end for you and give it a try. You can start off trying Cursor for the things you hate. Or maybe you're a front-end developer and you hate dealing with migrations and schemas and controllers. Fine. Create your front-end code by hand, normally, and then use Claude to generate the backend for you. This way, if it works, instead of being an AI skeptic, you're going to be very happy, right? Because now you get to spend most of your time doing the things that you love, which is maybe on your case, the backend. Maybe you despise React, you despise TypeScript. Well, ask Claude to do it for you. This is my biggest pro tip. And after I completely changed my opinion about AI, I started using it for everything. And not only to automate the things that I don't like, but to do the things that I like. I like writing Elixir code. I like writing React and TypeScript code, but I need to be efficient with my time. I work a full-time job. If I want to code anything outside of my job, I have 45 minutes to 1 hour of free time every day. That's not a lot. I need to be very precise about what I'm doing. I need to be extremely productive. So I'm trying to leverage these AI tools for everything that I do because I want to be productive. I want to ship things faster. And I am also using not only Windsurf, but I'm using Claude, the desktop app for macOS, to do the things that I'm not good at. I think I am a good developer. I know a little bit of marketing and sales, not so much, but I'm not a very good product person. So whenever I need to come up with ideas for an MVP or which is the next feature that I should be working on, I'm not a very good product owner. So I trained Claude. I gave it some custom instructions for him to be my co-founder, for him to be my product owner. I spit out ideas about what I want to build. And then once he fits in on this product owner mode, he gives me like a direction. He's like, okay, if this is what you want to do, I recommend focusing on this feature, which means creating this screen, creating this database table. And then he can break down your ideas into a product requirement document, which you can just copy and paste to Claude. And then most likely, if you have a very detailed PRD, Claude is going to one-shot this, which means generating the code correctly on the first try. I'm very excited about AI. I was a skeptic, but Cursor and Windsurf completely changed my mind. And if you are a skeptic, then try to use it for the things that you don't like first. And then once you convert yourself into an AI believer, then you can start automating other parts of your job if you want to. And I wanted to end this video with the thought of, well, if AI is generating good code, if AI is able to one-shot some features, do I believe that we're going to be replaced in the future? And by we, I mean software engineers. My opinion is different from the others because I do believe that we are going to be replaced. Not anytime soon. I think for now and for the next coming years, we're going to get enhanced by AI and not replaced. But if we keep going at the rate of development that we're going right now, I do believe that we will reach a point where it doesn't make sense for humans to write code. We're going to start writing code that is readable only to other AIs because they are more efficient and faster to implement a code. That's my opinion. It's a bit pessimistic in a way, but I'm also optimistic about it because this way I can spend more my time into the things that matter, because developing software takes so long. If I can spend my time just coming up with ideas, generating a plan for it, and then AI generates the code instantly or almost instantly, then I don't know. I like this idea because I like building products. This makes me optimistic about the future, but I think it's not right now. I think we're going to get replaced only in many years from now because we still need to give security audits to the code. I don't think it's a good idea to vibe code an entire feature because if you're not reviewing the code, sometimes AI is not good at generating code. If you are working on a niche programming language like Elixir, the code generated by AI needs some guidance. So if you blindly trust it, you're going to end up with code that is not optimized and maybe even unsecure. Okay. And this is my daughter, Kiara. Everybody say hi to Kiara. She is a beautiful lion, beautiful tiger. So that's it. My random thoughts for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this format and see you next time.